Hi, this is a quick video to show you how to keep track of your carbon footprint using an online website. I'm using a website called Taming Bigfoot, but in reality you can use any similar website because they all use similar kinds of data. So here I created the person called test user and put in some data for them. You don't actually have to have a spreadsheet or anything like this because there's not that much stuff to put in, but it can be helpful. Okay, so over here I go to my data. And what I'm going to do is put each piece in individually so that I can see how much each piece contributes. So add new data. Where do we start? We start with home energy. Electricity, kilowatt hours. So what on earth is a kilowatt hour and where do you find it? It's commonly found on the electric bill over here where they tell you what they read, etc. You can see 764 kilowatt hours. Now, if you don't have your electric bill, you can estimate this from the cost. So if you know you paid $107 to the electric company and the average United States electricity price is 12 cents per kilowatt hour, you can divide the two and find out 891 kilowatt hours. Not too far from 764, about 10% off. So that's not bad. Okay, 764. Oops. Submit. Okay. I just do everything once per month, so all my data is going to be the same. I'll just submit all this for November, so it's easy, and then I'll know how much carbon I emitted in November. Okay, 200 pounds of CO2 emitted for that. What's next? Okay, we have natural gas. Again, you go to the bill. Over here it says 113 therms emitted. Just like with electricity, if you don't have the bill, you can estimate this amount from how much you pay the gas company and the average US price per therm. Estimate is not exact, but probably for our purposes, it's close enough. So 113 therms of natural gas. Ooh, 357. A bit more pounds of CO2 due to natural gas emitted. Okay. There's other heating fuels there. If you use any of these, you can use those. You can put those in to see how much they contribute. Water. Okay, this month, test user has 5,000 gallons of water. Now this is a little tricky. This is CCF, hundreds of cubic feet. Let's see. So it's about 7 gallons per cubic foot. So it's about 700 gallons per 100 cubic feet. So that means 5,000 over 700. I don't know. It doesn't really matter because it doesn't contribute that much. But I have about 8 of these here. Submit. 3. Water doesn't contribute a lot. You can probably just neglect it and you won't lose much from your estimate. Garbage. How on earth do you know how much garbage you produce? All right, so suppose that test user knows they take about 5 bags to the curb every week. It's about 20 pounds per garbage bag, otherwise the bag would break and spill. So it translates to about 400 pounds of garbage per month. Okay, very good. We put in 400 pounds. Okay, that's not negligible. Probably worth keep putting that in. Okay. Transportation. Okay, the car is fairly easy. If test user knows they spend $190 on gas and price is $2.50 per gallon, that's 76 gallons used. 76 gallons. Ooh, 1,400 pounds of CO2. Driving is a large contributor to our carbon footprint. Suppose that test user also commutes by public transit. Okay, how do we calculate that? And how on earth do you know how many miles you go on public transit? Okay, suppose the user is taking urban light rail, also known as the subway, and suppose that they're commuting from Queens to Times Square. Okay. Ideally, Google Maps would just give you the distance, but it doesn't. But you put in one location here, the other location here, and if you click on public transit, it's going to give you directions to get there. Then over here in the lower right-hand corner, you see the legend. 1 mile is about an inch. One, two, three, four. 4 miles per trip. Okay. So over here I go commuting trips, 40 per month, 4 miles per trip, 160 total distance. 160 miles. 14 pounds of CO2. A lot less than driving around in the car. All right. What's next? Transportation. Suppose it took some flights it took a family trip to Miami. So that's 8 one-way tickets altogether. Now, how do you find out how far New York City is from Miami? You just Google it, and in this case, I get 1,700 kilometers, which is about 1,100 miles per trip. So I need to multiply by the number of one-way tickets. I get 8,800 miles. 8,800 miles. 5,000 pounds of CO2. Oh my gosh. Airplane flights are a big contributor. Okay. Add new data. What is left? Food. I think a ballpark estimate is good enough over here. Beef or lamb, suppose they eat it 2 times per day, 4 servings to feed the whole family. That's 8 per week or 32 per month. Pork or turkey, 2 days per week. Again, 4 servings per meal. So that's again 32 per month. Chicken or fish, the other 3 days, suppose it's 12 per week, 48 per month. Okay, I don't know how much this contributes. I just put 25%. They shop at Whole Foods periodically. Submit. Okay, so they produce 400 pounds of CO2 due to their food consumption. Probably not negligible. Shopping. Okay, they know they spend $200 a month on clothing, and let's say $40 on books and newspapers. Submit. 266 pounds of CO2. Also not negligible. Now, if you're wondering where to find the information of how all this is calculated, you go to help and you can look at conversion factors. And you can find the gory details of how all this stuff is calculated. This is a very well documented website. My data, oh, I want to go to report. Let's take a look at the report. Report. Here it is. All right, so in the month of November, they consumed this much. You can see it broken down by home, food and shopping, and transportation. That flight to Miami really killed the budget that month. Let's hope they buy some offsets to or something like this. But the most important thing is that they know how much carbon they produced and that they can start to track it and find out how they can control it later. Thank you for watching.